Bonjour, voici vidéo 10F, il faut. Il faut is a special verb conjugation. The infinitive is falloir, and it's special because it only has one person that the verb ever conjugates in, and that person is il, but it is not really a person. It is il impersonal, meaning it or one. So it would mean in English, one must, or the idea of it is necessary. That's il faut. In the imperfect, il fallait. In the passé composé, il a fallu. So notice that irregular past participle. The future stem is faudra. So for the future, you get il faudra. And for the conditional, same form of the stem, and il faudrait. So this is it was necessary. Both of them would be it was necessary. It will be necessary. It would be necessary. This is the only form you are ever going to see falloir in, il faut, or one of these. And it's very simple to use. You simply use il faut and an infinitive. So if you have to do something, it is necessary to study, you say il faut étudier. And I'm just going to use an infinitive. Very simple to use. What about if you shouldn't do something and you must not do something, like you must not smoke? Well, we can make this negative. Il ne faut pas. And then again, we're just going to use the infinitive that we want to express our idea. In this case, fumer. One must not smoke. It is not a good idea to smoke. In other words, even you shouldn't smoke in that sense. Okay? Now, what if I want to specifically talk about something that's necessary for me to do, or something that's necessary for any person for that matter to do? Well, we can use the object pronouns me, te, nous, and vous to express something that I should do, or you should do, or should not do. So, for example, if I want to stress that I must study, I can say il me faut étudier. And that little me added there, and then étudier, makes that necessary for me to study. It is necessary to me. It is necessary for me to study. Or we can use nous or any of those that refer to people as well. It's necessary for all of us to study. We must study. Sorry, that's messy. Il nous faut étudier. Okay, so be aware, read through your book there, be aware that you can use these object pronouns to stress that I'm talking about me that must do these things, or you, that wasn't up there, but we must do these things, or vous, for you must do these things. All right, let's go to our exercise, exercice K, à la page 157. 157, exercice K. And we are going to imagine that you are a parent who's sending a child to nursery school or elementary school for the first time. Use il faut or il ne faut pas and the expressions given to advise or to warn your child. So if it would be a positive thing like être sage, to be wise, you would say il faut être sage. You must be wise, or it is necessary to be wise. Or tricher means to cheat, so you would of course want to warn your child not to cheat. Il ne faut pas tricher. You must not cheat, or it is necessary to not cheat. Okay, let's look at these. Numéro 1, être poli. Should you be polite? Oui, il faut être poli, right? Il faut être poli. It is necessary to be polite. Numéro 2, écoutez l'institutrice. Should a little kid listen to the teacher? Oui, probablement. Il faut écouter l'institutrice. Il faut écouter l'institutrice. You must listen to the teacher. Numéro 3. Mentir aux autres. Should you lie to others? Probably not. So we're going to want il ne faut pas. Il ne faut pas mentir. Always going to follow that with the infinitive. Aux autres. Okay? You must not, or it is necessary to not lie. We wouldn't say it that way. We would just say you must not. 4. Être gentil avec les autres écoliers. Be nice to the other school children. That one we probably want il faut, right? Il faut être, I'm going to squeeze it in here. Oops, that needs a circumflex. Être gentil avec les autres écoliers. It is necessary to be nice. Numéro 5, avoir peur, to be afraid. Is it necessary to be afraid? Well, they're probably going to be afraid, but it's not necessary. And of course, that parent is going to tell that child, don't be afraid. So, il ne faut pas avoir peur. You must not be afraid. It is necessary to not be afraid, however you want to say that in English. Notice when we were giving these translations, when I was giving these translations, a lot of times I said, you must not. Even though I've said il, and I didn't put a vous in there, the translation, what we would say in English very often is, you must not. Or if I'm speaking and I say, il faut être poli, the assumption is that I'm talking about it's necessary for me. I must be polite. So il faut is kind of tricky because it's impersonal, it is necessary, but when the speaker uses it, most often they're talking about themselves, and we would translate that in English then as, I must. Or if you're giving advice to that little kid, you must, or you must not. So be aware of that kind of different translation with il faut. It's used all the time. It is a very common expression because you don't have to conjugate it into any specific tense, and the meaning is clear. When I say il faut étudier, I mean I must study. Or if I say it to you, il faut étudier, you must study. So it's very easy to use. Not a lot of tricky conjugations to remember. And just very, like I said, repeating myself, very useful for expressing what you must do, what you must not do. Okay, that ends exercise 10F. Au revoir.